Hi everyone, this is Meixsell and Sandman1, and today I'm super excited to show you 4 new LEGO Custom The Dark Knight minifigures. So, I just finished up Batman, but he has actually been in the works for the past many months. I think I actually started him up when I was like pretty new into YouTube. And you've seen this figure for the most part before if you've seen the original showcase. But I've made a few minor detail updates, and I repainted the whole mask. So yeah, I'll go through the line. So we have Dark Knight Bank Robber Joker. That minor spoilers ahead just for the next like 5 seconds. Joker Bank Robber. Then we have Joker Heath Ledger himself. We have Batman the Dark Knight Christian Bale. And we have Jim Gordon in his SWAT uniform. So now let's get into the review. So now as we start out this review, first here we have the Dark Knight. So I'm doing the 360 as usual. And now we can get into this figure. So first of all, one of the first things that you've probably noticed is that the whole cowl and stuff is completely sculpted out of clay. The ears I actually cut off of a legitimate Lego Batman cowl piece, but it was just way too kind of like thick as a piece because of just how thick they have to mold the plastic for Lego to really look good for the Dark Knight Batman cowl. So yeah, I did a kind of thin clay sculpt all around a normal Lego minifigure head, and then I sculpted around the eyes. You can see them just a little bit in there. And then I painted all black, and then I did some kind of gray detailing all around in some different places. Now as you can see kind of in the reflection, I did some insane detail work all around this figure. It's actually probably one of the most detailed jobs that I've ever done on a Lego minifigure so far, just because of the nature of the Dark Knight Batman armor. It's almost, I could almost equate it to trying to paint up like an Iron Man armor or something. Just the amount of detail that's packed into those. But yeah, so I'll actually take off the head here and the cape, because as you can see, I actually kind of cut it off square, so then it lines up nicely with the torso, just like that. And then as we look at this figure, you can see again all the detail. I actually painted some parts black, sorry I can't talk there, over the actual black torso piece, just because right up around here it actually kind of gets extra dark, and I wanted to kind of really equate that. So I think I did a pretty good job on the torso here. Also around the full belt there's all the detailing and stuff of the pockets and pouches and everything. No painting on the back, just because he always has the cape on, so I didn't really see any reason to. Also on the arms, he has all of the other armor detailing, as you can see there, and just that is also mirrored onto the other arm. The legs have detailing going all around them. There's sides, have all the paneling, and the boots also have some detailing running through them. There's also a little bit of detailing that also goes between the legs, just to continue kind of the boot design and some of the paneling. But now, as I put his cape back on and I kind of stall, actually I just messed that up. But yeah, so now we are pretty much done with the segment on Batman. And now let's get into the Joker. And now here I have the Joker. So actually, sorry, I'll do the 360 first as usual, and then we can get this figure off the stand. So first of all, we'll actually look at his weapons. So here he has a Glock 19. This is made by Sidam, and I put the silver paint job on the slide. and that kind of goes all the way around. There's the hole painted in on the front for the barrel. And then I also cut off a little bit of the handle, because this thing comes from Sidan with a really long grip. I don't know why, but just the way they made it, it looks really out of proportion compared to the hand. It like extends an extra maybe up until there, so it really kind of doesn't fit in the figure's hand very well the way they made it, so I just cut some off, and now it looks pretty good. And then here we also have a Brick Arms M3 grease gun, which is just in plain black, but then I did a full silver dry brush over all of it, kind of in different places where maybe a bit of paint would chip off, or even just where it would get really scuffed, and some silver would show through on the metal. And that just kind of goes all the way around, but nothing too special. And now for the Joker himself. So he actually has a Cape Madness trench coat, which I painted all in my own purple color. It was kind of a mix of a purple and a dark blue. So I also painted that onto the arms of the figure. I actually used some crazy glue to keep the trench coat in this real folded look up around here, just to make sure that it would never bend out over the detailing that I did up here in the front of the torso and stuff. Now actually, if we look at his face, this started out again as just a normal Lego minifigure face, same as Batman, and then just in the normal light tan color. And then I did all the white. I kind of dry brushed it on, so it kind of had the weird like clumpy matted look that Joker's makeup has in the movie. And then I did all the red around the mouth and the black around the eyes. I also did the full molding job for the green hair, and it doesn't look insanely green, but that's also because in the movie he doesn't have super green hair. It's a really kind of dark green, and I tried to equate that. I also put a bit of brown in it, kind of at the roots and stuff, because just kind of trying to make it look as movie accurate as possible. And I think I did a pretty good job on the hair. Yeah, I could have done better maybe with lots more practice, but at the skill level with molding that I'm at right now for hair, this is definitely the best I could do, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. His legs actually are dark blue, and then I just did the purple pinstripes going all the way around, and those are also going up the sides of the legs. And actually I'll take the legs off here. So actually the pinstripes only go up about half of the legs, and same with the stripes on the back. I didn't bother to make them even really, just because you never really see any higher than maybe about just above the shoes, other than on the front, which I did the full detailing, of course. And then there's also just a little bit of his shirt that kind of goes down over it. Actually, I'll take the legs off again, and then we can look at the shoes. So those are a kind of a mix of brown, dark brown, and black soles. They have the full detailing, and they look pretty movie accurate. I'm running on with this Joker figure, so I'm going to wrap up pretty quick here with the front of the torso. He just has kind of the green jacket. There's also some gray from his kind of like overcoat that he wears underneath the trench coat. And then, as you can also see, I did all the detailing on the tie with kind of the little checkers and stuff, and I think that turned out really nicely. There's also some light green kind of crease detail and stuff going through the front of the shirt. And now we'll go on and look at the Joker. So yeah, here is the Joker bank robber figure. Not really spoilers. Earlier I had said minor spoilers, but it's the first scene in the movie. Like, all of this... Sorry there, my stand just broke apart. But yeah, the figure that this the scene that this figure comes from is like literally the first scene, first 3 minutes of the movie. So it doesn't really matter that much. But this is Joker in the bank robbery scene. First, I'll actually look at his shotgun, because this was actually kind of a pretty special thing that I did. Because this was actually kind of a tactical shotgun type of thing. I think it might have been from Brick Arms or Sidan. I'm pretty sure it was Sidan. But it actually had a flashlight on the front grip. So then I actually cut that off, and then I sanded it all around to make it kind of smoothed out and just like it's a normal wooden pump action grip. So I painted all the brown over that for kind of the wood detail. I did a bit of silver dry brushing up here, and I also had to cut off a kind of like shotgun reload kind of strip that it had right there. So I cut all that off, and then I just did a bit of black detailing over some certain parts, and that was pretty much done. But I think it turned out really nicely, and I really like the end result. He also has this duffel bag right here. Oh, sorry, that just fell. And actually, there, if I can get it to, and there. Now you can see on the inside just a little bit, there's a smoke grenade and a frag grenade in there, and those are just kind of floating around. But then this whole duffel bag is made out of clay, even the, I guess, strap. And then I just put this blue color all over it. I had to mix this up, and I think it turned out nicely. I did this a long time ago, and I could maybe do a better job now, but it was quite difficult trying to get all the lines, all those sides and stuff, and still making it hollow on the inside. So actually what I did for this, oh, there goes the frag grenade, and you can just see that. But I actually had to cut all the different sides of this, and then I crazy glued each side together to kind of make the rectangle shape, and then I just kind of filled in a bit of clay over some of the other areas just to make it look really seamless and stuff. But that's about it for that, and now let's look at the figure actually. So he's pretty simple, no detailing on the back other than the shoes. And actually on the note of the shoes, let's look at those first. So they are quite different from the shoes on the normal Joker. Mainly brown, again black soles, but then they have kind of these tan stripes going down the sides. And as always, these shoes have the little kind of X for the shoelaces painted on. There's also some kind of the details of the pleat on the pants. And then the coat that he has on is just painted on. I also painted onto the arms to get the exact same color. And then there's also just some more detail in black for other pleats, and a bit for the coat. Now probably one of the most difficult parts of this figure was getting the whole design on the shirt down. And I think I replicated it pretty decently. You can actually look up the Hot Toys Joker bank robber figure to kind of compare it. That's actually what I used as reference for this figure, but I think I did a pretty decent enough job. Then what was definitely the hardest part about this figure was getting the mask and the hair. So as I mentioned earlier, I actually did a full repaint of this mask, and then I went over it all again with the white. I actually remolded the eyebrows out of clay to make them better, and I just went over everything again with the skill with painting that I have now over, I think it might have been 8 months ago when the original review of this figure came out. I also painted on the kind of strap around the back of the mask, and the hair I molded and painted in dark green. And I've been rambling about this figure for way too long, and now we can wrap up this video with Jim Gordon in his SWAT uniform. And now for the last figure of this bunch, Jim Gordon. So I'll do the 360, and then we can look at this figure. So first of all, here he has a Mossberg 590 shotgun, This is from Sidam, and it kind of has all this gray paint that I put all over it in places other than kind of the barrel, the pump grip, the stock, and the main grip. But I think this looks really nice just with the kind of just dark gray that I put over it, and that's about it for that. No customs on that. But then the main thing about this figure is actually, I'd say, the hair, because this is kind of the mutt hairstyle from Indiana Jones. This was made, I'm pretty sure, actually for the first time in 2008, but now it comes out in almost every LEGO City set just as a hairstyle for any civilian. But I actually did a bunch of sanding in here for the part in the hair, and then I added a bunch of clay up on the front to kind of give him the slightly spiked up hair look, also just the hair volume kind of that he has. I also completely sanded out the front to get rid of kind of the little curl that comes down. And then I repainted it all in my own dark brown and put some kind of gray streaks through it and all. Also a little bit of black streaks. But mainly just to look him kind of more old, and I think it turned out pretty well. This is actually a clone trooper head, which then I painted the kind of soup strainer mustache that he has, and I painted his Oakley ballistic glasses. I used the Clone Wars head actually because since the white of the eyes is so big on these, it almost kind of equated the lenses pretty well actually. So that's why I made that choice. Then he has the knee pads, which are clay pieces. All the straps go all around. His boots don't have much detail on them, they're just fully painted black and they go all the way around. He has this big, maybe a medical pouch on the side, or maybe for some magazines or whatever, extra ammo. And then there's two straps there, and one strap here that attaches the holster to the leg. And that is just made out of clay, and then I painted it all black. I also painted the belt on, and that just goes all the way around, a bit of gray through it. And then his arms have some lines and a pouch on this shoulder. And yeah, the lines just kind of go around. There's also a line on the front of the arms. And then he just has this kind of tactical vest on his torso. It was just painted all up in black, and then I did the little SWAT writing on the little patch here. I think I did a pretty decent job of that for how small it is and stuff. And I think you can tell what it says as long as you know what it's supposed to be. And now, that's actually one more thing about this figure. He actually has the balaclava and the helmet that he has on in the movie for a little bit. And so yeah, I actually fully molded the goggles. I actually painted it in a dark gray and a black for the outline. But then I also painted the strap around going for the chin and stuff. So you pretty much have to use it with the helmet. But now that is pretty much it for this figure. And now we can go and wrap up this review. And that's pretty much it for this video. So as always, I really hope you liked this showcase. It went on pretty long there, but if you got through, I definitely commend you. For however long this video will end up being, it's definitely a long one. And especially for only 4 figures, I definitely went on too long for some of these, especially Batman. And I'd actually say Bank Robber Joker I talked about for way too long, especially being that I've already made a video on him. And yeah, so as always, please follow me on Instagram. The links are always in the description. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Master Sergeant Sandman 1,